Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to more WoW leveling. Today, we are doing the Eastern Kingdoms for the Midsummer Fire Festival. I just did the Kalimdor Fires, the other video, or the previous WoW leveling, so if you missed that, you go watch that one first, or, I mean, you can watch it after this. There's really, it really doesn't matter. It's not like it's a story where you're like, I have to see that part first before I see this part. It really doesn't matter in which way you watch either of these, but you know, this is actually I don't even remember what episode this. I think it's like 181, 182 or something like that. But hey, how's it going? We're leveling in WoW again. Also, I need to put a fire out here that I flew past, right? Or wait, no. I'm already lost. Oh wait, there's one over at the bulwark, I believe. There we go. In my previous video though, I did talk a lot about the immersion of World of Warcraft. I was mainly talking about it because I made a video about it, and it actually got watched by a few big WoW people. I believe Zaryu watched it. I think Angelica Tosh watched it, and I'm sure there's other people that, you know, heard it referenced or whatever. So I didn't think it was going to blow up that much. That was pretty neat. That was really just a video I wanted to rant about my thoughts on immersion, but it was cool other people were reacting to it. It always, like, makes me think about just how YouTube has shifted and changed over the years, you know what I mean? Because I've seen people come and go over these years, and yet I remain. I mean, there's even been a point where I wasn't even doing WoW stuff here on YouTube. If you remember back that far, there's a point where I was mainly doing Hearthstone. There's a part where I just didn't even care about YouTube really in general. I was mainly streaming, and then just in the last couple of years, you know, I started ramping up pointless top 10s again, and now I've just, in the last couple of months, I've like really gotten back into YouTube, mainly because I don't like Twitch as much, to be honest. Like, I still like Twitch, but I don't really like Twitch the company is what I should say, more so. And I was just like, you know what, I just have more fun doing YouTube stuff, so I kind of just went back to doing more YouTube. I still stream all the time, obviously, but I really started just putting more effort and having more fun with YouTube. So it really is just more fun for me. I have a lot more enjoyment being creative on YouTube, figuring out like wacky video ideas or top 10s or just ranting about my opinions on stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying putting more effort into YouTube, and hopefully you have as well. You know, I always thought this place was so weird, like all the different spotlights, and they're like the human heads are in the ground or whatever, the human seedlings. I've already mentioned those in pointless top 10s before, but yeah, so that was pretty cool to see. But my big thing is I try not to be somebody that's like completely negative about things like retail WoW. So I feel like a lot of times when people talk about classic versus retail, it almost gets political in a way, right? It almost feels like there's the classic side and the retail side, and the retail people are like, can you just like stop bashing this game? I enjoy it, you know. We're tired of getting bashed by all these people saying it's a dumb game for babies, goo goo gaga. And then the classic people are just like, classic was better. You're supporting, you know, corporate slop or something. It's just like, I just don't want to like play into that, or because it's like I play both games, right? Like I'm playing retail WoW right now technically, and there's so many things I love about retail WoW. There's plenty I don't like, but you know, there's things I don't like about classic WoW, right? And it's one of those things where I like them both for various reasons, and there's definitely points about each one that I like and dislike, and it's not like I really like one more than the other. There's definitely times where I play one more than the other, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a game that I really enjoy playing for various reasons. All right. Let me turn in these. Whoa, another level up. I'm just going to throw a point in here. Nice. 73, man, dude. I've been leveling from this Midsummer Fire Festival. There we go. Yippee. Let's go down here. Do this. Wee, dude, I love this mount. This is such a good mount. I think it's a store mount too, which is playing into the fact of like their retail versus classic WoW. He's using a store mount. Get him. Spit on him. Like, I don't know, man. But oh yeah, getting back to my point, I just when I make my videos, I try not to be overly critical of like one or the other. I try to come at it from just a perspective of like, hey, this is something that I enjoy, this is something I don't enjoy. And you know, because I still remember getting comments, people just being like, see, he's bashing the game, I'm tired of people, and I'm just like, dude, like, chill out. I'm just sharing my opinions and trying not to, yeah, you get what I'm saying. All right. Yeah, I would say that honestly, the main thing I really would change about retail WoW is the story. I really, and part of it's just me, because like, to be honest, I've never really been that into the WoW story, or like, I'm not a big video game story person in general. Some people like Jesse, like he loves video game stories. There's people when I stream and do stuff, they're like, dude, Crendor's skipping the story or all this stuff. And like, I just prefer my stories in either movie form or book form, or I guess like TV show form. It's just when I consume a story, I enjoy it just like being laid out in front of me and then just being able to consume it. I don't really like having to like go around and like piece things together by being like interacting with it in a game and be like, did I miss part of the story? Do I go here for the story? Did I do the right thing? And the only time I really actually appreciated that was like Baldur's Gate 3, because it almost felt like I was making my own story. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like I was following a path of like, you better do this story the right way or you're gonna miss stuff. Like it felt like I was just making my own story. Let's see, I gotta go down here. So that's, I mean, and that's just that's my personal preference, right? Like right now I'm reading, I just reached I can't even talk. Game of Thrones, is it the Feast of Crows? I think it's Feast of Crows. It's the 4th book. I'm on the 4th book now. And I've really enjoyed reading Game of Thrones, actually. I say that I've actually taken a little bit of break from reading because I've been building my Warhammer 40k orcs that just came out. And I just finished the 3rd book, so I was like, I'm going to need a little bit of a break before I keep going. But I did read some of it. And it's, as somebody who's also writing a book, I realized that I really enjoy reading. I think out of all the forms of media consumption, reading is my favorite. And it didn't used to be. I used to like reading, but now, like, I genuinely, the more I've learned about writing as an art form, the more I've really gotten into reading and enjoying it. Here we go. Which I think I mentioned last Midsummer Fire Festival that I was writing a book, and I'm still writing a book. In fact, it's still the Magical Fishing book, if you remember from last year, and I'm at I think it's either 17 or 18,000 words now. And I actually posted my rough draft on Patreon. And the people that read it were like, I'm impressed. I would not have guessed that Crendor could write this well. So, and that, again, that's all I keep saying. I'm like, as long as you read this book and you go, I don't even want it to be like, this is the best I ever read, or like, this is great. I just want people to read it and be like, man, this was pretty good. I can't believe Crendor wrote it. That's my ultimate goal. And so I've really been enjoying that, and it's kind of coming together. I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I'll actually have like a full written rough draft. That's kind of my plan, and then hopefully at some point next year, I can, you know, release it or get it going. But it's coming along, and this is the most I've ever written in like the years that I've been wanting to write. So it's been a lot of fun writing. I really enjoy writing. So yeah, that's been coming along. It's been great. It makes you realize that writing a book, especially a good book, that you want to be good, takes a lot of time. Because there's a lot of people. I've even mentioned like, oh yeah, you know, I'm writing this, and someone will be like, I wrote like 40,000 words in like 2 weeks, and it's like, okay. Remind you, like I'm the type of person where I write and then I revise, and then I write some more, and then because in order for me to write well, I have to kind of get into my writing mode. I can't just like sit down and like pick up where I left off. I have to reread what I've already written. Dude, another level. I have to reread what I've already written, and then that kind of gets me back in the mode of the story, because I'm like, okay, where did I leave off? And I'm like, okay, I got to start from the beginning, you know, get back in the minds of the characters, the setting, And then when I do that, I'm like, actually, this doesn't sound that good. I don't think this character would have done this here. Actually, this would have been interesting if something else happened. Maybe I'll tweak this, and I start like revising more and more. So essentially, the first couple chapters of my book aren't even rough drafts. Really, they're kind of just straight up like they've been revised numerous times. The more recent chapters are definitely more rough draft stuff, though. Let's see, but I mean that's just how I like writing. So it's and it's still fun, right? Like, again, I'm not trying to become an author. I'm not trying to quit doing this for my living and become an author. But I do want to write a book that people actually enjoy reading. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers, they'll be like, I have a built-in audience. I can just write some random-ass book or, like, have a ghostwriter write it and people buy it, right? But I don't want to do that. Like, I want to actually write a fun fantasy book and, you know, do it myself and then be proud of it and then be able to, you know, promote my book and be proud of what I've written and created. And that's what it's really about. And honestly, that goes for just a lot of things in general, right? Like, I think just whether it's YouTube or anything, like being able to think something up and go through the process of doing scripting and audio and you know, filming it and all this stuff. Uh-oh. Am I gonna get attacked? I think I'm good. Okay, no, I'm good. And just being able to be proud of what you created. And I think there's a lot of people that just pump out content where if you were like, hey, are you proud of that video you created? They'd probably say no, because they're just creating it to make money, or, you know, they're doing it because it's their job now. Like, the amount of people I've met with YouTube or streaming that actually just despise it now because they're like, I hate doing this, but it makes me money, right? Or, you know, they're like, other people wish they were doing what I'm doing, so I have to like it. And it's actually an insane amount of people like that. But that's never been me. And I think that's because, again, I started doing this in 2009 because I just liked doing it. Like, I made videos. I made videos, you know, prior to 2009. I made videos before YouTube even existed, of just like, you know, like old PvP video style things. I would make goofy videos for my guild. They were really bad because, you know, I was like 15 or whatever. But I've always enjoyed making stories and creating stuff. Even as a kid, I would write comic books. I would make stories about like video game characters. I have like little comic books I made about Kirby. You know, it's essentially just like writing my own fan fiction in a way. And so I've just always been a very creative person. And again, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy YouTube more than Twitch, is because it allows me to be more creative. And so it always boils down to, if I didn't make any money doing this, right, would I still do it? And the answer is yes, because I've already done that. I've already spent 2 years not making money doing YouTube. In 2009, like 2011, I didn't make anything. And then, you know, I was lucky enough that I was like, yo, I can make money now. And I've been able to have this as my job. And I mean, career at this point, it's been nearly 20 years. And it's just one of those things where I can't imagine my life like without this. You know, like, you know how people are like, oh, I can't wait to retire and then never do my job or anything related to it ever again. If I retired tomorrow, I would be like, dude, the new Star Fox came out. I should stream it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to see what people think as I play it. Like, even if I made zero money, I would still feel the need to stream it, because I'd be like, this would be so fun to play and watch, you know, people's reactions and stuff. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. And the same with YouTube. Like, I might not make as many videos, but I would still go around WoW and be like, dude, it'd be fun to make a video about trees in WoW. Right? It might not be as frequently. It would probably take me longer because I'd be doing other stuff or something, but I just genuinely enjoy making videos and entertaining people. One of my favorite things about just doing this is reading comments from people. I mean, I've been to conventions, I've done panels, right? I've done live shows and stuff, and it's always really cool when you meet people in real life that are like, yo, I watched your videos, you know, since I was in high school, and like, or like I've watched your videos when I was going through hard times, and like they made me feel better, like especially after I've gone through my hard times, right? Like I've been through all my shit this year where my legs hurt. There's that one week, man, I was in like when I had tendonitis in my quads from overworking them and doing a bunch of shit, and then I strained my hip and my muscles tightened, so it was just like my muscles were compressing my nerves. Dude, that was the most pain I've had to endure for like days. Like it was just like constant burning. That made me like what's the way, like I don't know if it's empathetic, or I guess it would be empathetic for just anybody with chronic pain or dealing with any type of like, you know, constant pain. So it was terrible. And the only way I could deal with that was like playing video games and watching stuff, like watching TV, watching YouTube, watching things. And so when I did all that, I realized like this is kind of what I do, right? Like I'm here to help people forget about reality and forget about the real world and their problems and just like escape for a bit. And that's kind of why I started making videos in the first place as well, because I'm somebody who I love consuming media, right? In various forms, and especially video games and, you know, YouTube videos and streams or whatever. And so it's kind of like it's a way for me to also give back through that, right? Like making people laugh, making people forget about their problems. And that's really what I enjoy the most. Or even just like helping people to learn things they didn't know, even if those things don't matter. Pointless things, if you will, right? Like learning stuff about gnolls or in World of Warcraft, or pirates, or rocks. And I always think that's fun. So yeah, I don't know, I don't even remember how I got here with this rant, but I genuinely enjoy doing this, right? It's the same with like the Midsummer Fire Festival, all these events. Like I love looking forward to the Midsummer Fire Festival and doing this, or Brewfest, or any of these events. And I think you can always tell when someone's actually passionate about what they're doing and care about what they do. And I mean, whenever I watch so many YouTubers and streamers, I can almost tell right away whether they're truly into it or they're just trying to make money. Like it's almost like instinctive at how quick I can notice whether they're in it for the love of the game or if they're just in it for the money. Hold on. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of times I've made videos where I'm like, this is probably, you know, this is a video that's going to make money, or this is a video I'm making, you know, more so because I know it's going to do better. And like, it's still, you still have to do that if it's your job. But it becomes the thing of like, is that the only thing you do? Right? I think that's when it boils down. There's some people where it's like, they only care about that. That's the only type of video they want to make. They rehash the same topics. They redo the same shit. They bring up the things that are, you know, controversial, or, you know, they're not gonna make a pointless top 10 lily pads in World of Warcraft and know like this video is not gonna do good. This video about lily pads in World of Warcraft's probably not gonna be hitting the front pages. But you know what? I want to make it, and so I make it, and I did make it. And it did not do as well as many other pointless top 10s, but it's still a good video. I'm still proud of it. Here, let's go down here. That's the Zeppelin from Pointless Top 10 Mysterious Crashes in World of Warcraft. Wow. Okay, let's go. Let's go here. Let's do these. Wait. Oh, here it is. Couldn't even see the thing above his head. All right, and then we just have to, oh, there's this one over here. We'll get that. All right. Put this out. Dude, this has been such fast leveling. This has been insane. Like, by the end of it, we might actually have another level. I might be level 77. This is crazy. Let's see. And then, wait, the pirate things down here. Blasted lands. Wait, did I get the blasted lands? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, yeah, so we go down here. I'm already forgetting which ones I got. I wish I, like, removed it from my map after I got it. And after saying all that with, like, the story and stuff, it's one of the reasons that I also don't really like the WoW story is... It's just, like, it just feels like bad writing a lot of the time. And it's always been kind of goofy writing, right? Like, even playing through Warcraft 3 lately, it's... Like, none of that's, like, the pinnacle of writing, you know? It's just... but it's kind of just... You can tell their heart was in it. You can tell they're having a good time. There's like, what if we made Darth Vader, but as a paladin, right? Like, they were just having fun doing shit like that. And now it's just kind of... I don't know. It's just... especially now after I've, like, learned so much about writing and, like, you know, structuring stories and all these different things, like, a lot of it's just not great. And I do think part of that stems from there's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? I think even Chris Metzen mentioned that there's like multiple people in a room deciding on what goes into what story and figuring things out. And I think when you have that, it is hard to write a good story, you know, and there's so much like corporate overlook, making sure everything is approved, and there's multiple different writers and all these different things. Like, it's rough. And I think that's one of the reasons why indie games like Baldur's Gate and stuff, actually work out so well, is they don't really have that, because they're just kind of trying to make a game for fun and make a story for fun and all this stuff. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm not a big story person in video games anyway, so I don't care. But yeah, you know, I shouldn't say that, because I do love the side quests, which is what I always mention. Like, I always love the things like going and helping, you know, the little people at, like, the crossroads, like Mankrik with his wife, or, you know, helping the Tuskar in the Azure Span, or helping the, you know, the... I was trying to look for ones in Northrend. I can't even, like, think anything right now. Like, what even is that? Like, even just, there's, like, the... Oh, my God. Is it the Giants? Or am I... No, I'm thinking of... No, that's not it. And the things of Northrend. And, you know, it's different. But I can't, like, think of specific examples off the top of my head now. Well, I guess I thought of a couple, but I was trying to think of more. I just like... I mentioned this in my video, but I enjoy just being a part of the world and experiencing the world. And I think a lot of the little side quests and the things like making soup with the Tuskar and doing all these little community events, that makes me feel like I'm part of the world. And then I just don't care about Azeroth exploding. Like, it's just, it is what it is. I don't care. And I think part of it's just, at the end of the day, I know it's going to be fine. I know it's going to be whatever. But I just prefer those little stories out in the world. But yeah. I think I got all the fires. I'm just kind of like flying around trying to remember if I missed any. Wait, did I get this one? I don't think I got this one, but maybe I did. I did. Okay. Yeah, I think I got them all. Let me do a quick check again just to make sure. Lock mode done. I got that. Wait, did I? Hold on. Did I get the wetlands? I might have not gotten the wetlands, but maybe I did. I'm gonna go check over there one more time, and we'll see. Honestly, let me know down in the comment section below. What is the reason that you play WoW? Is it just like you've played it for so long, you just keep playing? Is it, you know, do you actually play for the story? Do you play to collect stuff? Do you mainly play classic WoW? Like, what keeps you playing WoW or coming back? Is it your friends are playing it, community? Like let me know, because I'm genuinely curious. And what's your favorite story thing in WoW too? Let me know that in the comment section as well, because I'm curious about that too. Of just like, what's your favorite little side quest that's like a, you know, quest that nobody's really gonna care about in the main story, but you know, it's like how there's that Yeti here that's like eating goats or something at the ranch, right? And you go up into the mountains and find them, you know, like stuff like that, where it's just like some little thing out in the world. Wow. All right, let me make sure I got this one. I feel like I didn't get this one. But I might be insane. As a matter of fact, I'm probably insane. Let's see. Wetlands. The old flooded Menethil Bay. And the answer may shock and surprise you. I did get it already. Well, excellent. All right, folks. Well, that does it for another Midsummer Fire Festival. Bur Taras, Donna Taras, Nemelka Bordagel. I've always said that. So thanks for watching another year. If you missed the last one, I'll put it on the screen and go watch that. Or I got numerous other videos to help you waste your time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay. Larry, say the see ya. See ya.